OCO, free thinkers.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think, yeah.
Let's make it happen. I think one of the things that you're saying, which makes it complicated for, the immigrant, is that we also don't have the cultural memory and history. Mm-hmm. And so there are ways in which then, in as much as I would like to identify as black, my own son was quick to remind me not that long ago. It's like, no, Dad, you're African, you're not black. And I'm like, so what does that mean exactly? When people are looking at me, it's not like they see me as African. Mm-hmm. They see me as, racialized as black. And so I think over time for me.
So y'all heard that. So his son got on him for the usage of the term black when he knows that he's African. Interesting. Dad, don't use the term black. You're African.
Set it on fire. Fire. Fire.
Speaking of delineation. And that was his son correcting him. Interesting. His son must know something or must have learned something. He learned that there was a difference. We're not the same. We're not the same people at all. We might share particular similarities, but that does not mean that we are the same people. You got to know it.
That category has become more political than anything. That I am politically black because of my alignment with what it means to be black, not just of the US, but of the world. I have what I would consider home, Kenya. And
Kenya is his home. Y'all heard that, right?
With what it means to be black, not just of the US, but of the world. I have what I would consider home, Kenya. And
he don't look like one of us neither, as far as the stereotypical phenotype is concerned. He doesn't look like one of us. They're not us.
Where I am not racial.
Like, she don't look like one of us. She don't look like our people at all. Like, our women don't look like that. Straight up. We could immediately look at her and say, nah, she not from here.
As a black in Kenya.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
I have what I would consider home, Kenya, and where I am not racialized as a black in Kenya, and that yes, if I am choosing to remain in the United States, if I am choosing to be here at this moment, that yes, that I am black. At the same time, I am also considered African.
Oh, since he's choosing to live in America, then yes, he's black. Let me hear that one more time.
What I would consider home, Kenya, and where I am not racialized as a black in Kenya, and that yes, if I am choosing to remain in the United States, if I am choosing to be here at this moment, that yes, that I am black.
Wow. Any questions? That's it for tonight's lesson. I really do appreciate you all coming out to enjoy the live stream. That's it for tonight. Hit that like. We can end it right there. The argument ends right. Hold on, let me calm down. Wait. We just started the live stream. Let me calm my ass down. We could end the argument right there. It's no debating. He just told you he act like a black American because he's in America. He's racially categorized by way of his imagination as black when he's in America. But he's not racially categorized at all in his home country. So he from Africa, right? Live in America. He said he's only going to associate with the term black because he's in America. That doesn't mean he's one of us, though. That's clear.
I am also considered African. So I was never African until I came to the US because telling people...
He was never African until he came to the US. What?
From Kenya.
Go back.
At the same time, I am also considered African. So I was never African until I came to the US, because telling people, oh, I'm from Kenya, they're like, what? You know, yes. So so I'm also African.
Whoa! So not only is he not African, until he comes to America, he's not black either until he comes to America. Woo! Let that sink in. Take this part seriously. He said he's only black when he comes to America, and he's only African when he comes to America.
But at the core, I guess, of, oh, I'm from Kenya, they're like, what? You know, yes. So so I'm also African. But at the core, I guess, of maybe my, and I know we have intersectional thinking and all of that. At the core, I think for me is that I am a Gikuyu man. That's my ethnic group.
See how he lines himself with this ethnic group?
Ethnicity and gender, you know, are primary to how we identify in Kenya, and so.
See, and shouldn't we be identifying as that as well? Keep in mind, they tried to claim that African American is an ethnic group, and it shouldn't be. That was somebody else soliciting their way of thinking or their narrative on us. We didn't agree to that. We did not have a conventional conference meeting where leaders that represent our tribes got together and said, hey, we're now going to affirm that we, from this day forward, will identify each other as an African American or black, by the way. This is another reason why I say we have to stop utilizing these terms. Black and African American are both not only social constructs, but they are weapons of mass destruction, because that is causing all the confusion within our communities. All of it, the entire thing. Like, if you really think about it, if we really wanted to get something done, why are we including foreigners to get something done? Okay, what I mean by that is to get something done for us. If we wanted to get something done for us by way, let's say, for example, reparations, we wanted reparations. Every time we say Black Americans are owed reparations, we're including these people. Inadvertently, we are including those people. And there is no making some distinction now. It's too late. It's been going on since the 1960s. They are the new Negro. And so are people of South America, by the way. All of them were boxed in to be the new us. And it really, even though the new Negro movement and the Harlem Renaissance came before the 1960s, but it took a drastic turn, or it was turned all the way up volume-wise in the 1960s. It was there before the 1960s, but it escalated in the 1960s. There was a movement behind it politically to make that the social construct. That's why they call it political correctness. That was politically driven. That wasn't by our people, though. Okay, not to say that it didn't involve our people. It did involve some of our people. These are the people that worked against us, that share the same skin complexions as you and I. But this is also why when you start taking a look at organizations that came by way of, let's just say, for example, some type of conference or Congress, some political structure that was cultivated in order to so-called represent Black Americans, i.e. the Black Caucus or the Congressional Black Caucus and the NAACP. Let's just take both of them. I need you to take a look at how many foreigners are involved in these so-called decision-making positions, law-making positions, policy-creating positions, and didn't ask us a goddamn thing. The only thing they asked us for was for our vote. They are complete salesmen and women in suits begging for your donations. That sound like a pastor, that ain't for his people. There's some great pastors out there that don't go for all of them. But I'm just saying, see how their job is very similar. And they call that talking politics. Look, same thing with the street narrative, the so-called street narrative. Something is going on back at whatever jail that, they were in. They call that politics. Talking, debating amongst their peers, though. Amongst their peers. See, that's the part that's important. Were we ever amongst our peers when the decision was made to say, okay, now, they're called Black Americans. No. We're called Black Americans. Where were we? Yes, I agree. This should be a legal case. This should be a civil lawsuit. I'm not trying to say too much, but I know some people that are already getting this done. Some people have already reached out to me to borrow some of my research in order to get that stuff done. You're going to start seeing those people if you haven't already. But yeah, there are some people that are trying to get steps like that done. But that doesn't mean that we should just depend on this group or that group as an example and say, all right, y'all, that's enough. No, all of us need to be hitting them at one time. And I also informed them, don't forget that this government has always been working against us. So don't think for 1 second that they're going to do anything that will rule in your favor, especially when you already misrepresented yourself as something unforeseen when it comes to your status in this government. You blacked yourself out. Oh, you're begging them to write you back in? The disconnect with certain people is because some people out there don't have no idea that there was an agenda that was carried out by way of these social constructs like African American and Black. This is the reason why some of you may feel like it's confusing to hear this African man, for example, state that he's only African and Black when he comes to America. You'll be like, what? So when he go to Kenya, he not African and he not Black? And he just told you no. And he just told you no. And then he tell you what they do. Well, listen.
But at the core, I guess, of maybe my, and I know we have intersectional thinking and all of that. At the core, I think for me is that I am a Gikuyu man. That's my ethnic group. So because ethnicity and gender, are primary to how we identify in Kenya, and so part of the my upbringing, the lessons that I have, the ways in which I see the world, the ways in which I parent, the ways in which I just function, are rooted in being this Gikuyu man. And so, yeah.
He's not an African. He's a Gikuyan man. That's how he pronounced it. Gikuyan. It could be Kikuyan, but it sounds like he's saying Gikuyan. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. I'm not trying to do it with any malicious intent. So he's from Kenya. He's not an African. He's not Black. That is very important to point out. And I hope some of you out there will clip that part up and show the people elsewhere. That part right there, that's very important. He admitted that he's not one of us and not associated nor affiliated with the terms that they gave us. That who is they? The government. Goes back to my point. So hopefully this gives you at least some understanding. Hopefully. And I'll do more segments on this, of course. I always do. And I have documentary style segments out on this. And you'll see that on the channel. And I'll cover it. I believe tonight I'm going to be covering one of them. And if not, and if it's not necessarily on this topic, then I'll make sure that it's coming up in a more recent live stream here coming. I'll make sure of that. I don't want any confusion. I want people to learn.
Identify in Kenya, and so part of the my upbringing, the lessons that I have, the ways in which I see the world, the ways in which I parent, the ways in which I just function, are rooted in being this Gikuyu man. And so, yeah.
OCO free thinkers.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think, yeah. I made you think, yeah. I made you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you
He's
think.
here to make you think.
I make you think.